friends, so here's your skills lesson for today. It's lesson 15. Read the I can statement. It says, I can read the story Panther and answer comprehension questions. So in your reader, you have something called the table of contents. The table of contents is always found in the beginning of the book. So what is the table of contents? Yes, the table of contents is the name of the chapter and what page it's on, okay? So if we look, chapter 9 is the Panther, and it's on page 76. So this story is about a sick panther who can no longer hunt for his food. So he has to come up with a clever plan. When there is a character that plays a trick in a story, it is called a trickster tale. This is also a fable because it has a moral or lesson to be learned. So, I want you to think of the other clever characters in the trickster tales from the bedtime tales reader that we've been reading. Can you think of a trickster that was from one of our stories? We had Pete. Remember, he fed the frog so many limes it couldn't jump, so he was tricking Big Jim. Then we had the hedgehog. He was a trickster. He tricked the hare. All right, good job. So these are words that we're going to see in our story today. I'm going to try and fix them because they're blurry. There we go, it's better. All right, so do you remember O-I, the sound O-I? What does O-I say? Oi. Remember, O-I is a diphthong because your mouth moves two different ways. Oi. So it's in an O, and then it goes back into a smile. Oi. So if I have to read this word, I know that the O-I in this word says oi. So this word, let's tap it. Joint. What's the word? Joints. E-A. E-A is a vowel team. That is another syllable type. A vowel team is when you have two vowels side by side. The vowel sound is long, short, or something else. So you have two vowels side by side, and that vowel team will either be a long sound, a short sound, or something else. In this case, this vowel team EA says E. So I know that all of the EAs in these words say E. So help me tap out the first one. Ready? E. What's the word? Mean. Do the next one. Ease. What's the word? Please. Eat. What's the word? Eat. And the last one in that column is, tap it out. What's the word? Reason. Again, O-W. Do you remember what the sound for O-W is? Yes, it says ow. Again, O-W is a diphthong because your mouth moves in two different ways. It goes ow. So this time it starts wide open and then it closes. So ow. So if we tap this word out, it's ow. What's the word? Owl. ER is a syllable type, and this syllable type is vowel R because you have an E with a vowel. So when we see ER in these words, they go together and it says These two are two-syllable words, and this is a three-syllable word. So that means there's two vowels in this word, two vowels in that word, and three vowels in this word. All right, ready? Let's tap it. What's the word? Panther. Next one. What's the word? Clever. Okay, this one's a long one. Ready? Tap it. understand. Okay, remember, O-O has two different sounds. O-O can say ooh as in zoo or as in book. So this one says ooh. So let's tap it. Ooh, ooh. What's the word? Fool. And this is a vowel team, remember? The next one, U consonant E, is also a type of syllable because it is the silent E syllable or the vowel consonant E. So remember, the E is magic, and so the E says, hey, you, say your own name, and I'm going to be quiet. So if we sound this word out, it's huge. What's the word? Huge. And the last group of words we're going to see in our story today is O-U. What does O-U say? Yes, it says ow, like O-W. Again, O-U is a diphthong because your mouth moves in two different ways. Ow. So it starts open and then it closes. So let's tap out our words. Ready? Ow. What's the word? Mouth. Last one. Out. What's the word? Out. Now let's go back and read these without sounding them out. Ready? O-I says oi, joints. E-A says e, mean, please, eat, reason. O-W says ow, owl. E-R says Let's read the words. Panther, clever, understand. O-O says ooh. Read the word. Fool. U consonant E or vowel consonant E makes the vowel say its own name, so it's long. It says you. So let's read the word. Huge. And the last group, O-U says ow. Read the words. Mouth, out. All right, good job. All right, so I'm going to read the panther. Are you ready? I want you to follow along. The panther. Mike and Ann ran in. Dad, said Mike, please tell us a bedtime tale. Yes, said Ann, clapping her hands. Tell us a pancake tale. I would if I could, said their dad, but I can't. Do you remember what kind of punctuation marks these are called? Yes, they're called quotation marks. Do you remember what it means when you see quotation marks? It means someone is talking. Do you know what it's called when you have characters talking back and forth to one another? So in this case, Mike, Ann, and Dad are talking back and forth. Do you remember what that's called when you see quotation marks? Good job. It's called dialogue. So dialogue is when characters or animals or objects, whatever it may be, are talking back and forth. Do you remember what this punctuation mark is called? Yes, it's a comma. And remember, we use commas to either list three things or because they want us to pause. So if it says Dad with a comma, they want us to pause before we read. Yes with a comma, they want us to pause before we read on. And the last one, they have a comma because they want us to pause before we read on, because none of these list three things. All right, let's get back to the story. Why not? Asked Mike. As far as I can tell, there's just one pancake tale. Oh, no, said Mike. Now I'm in a sad mood. Let's sit down on Mike's bed, said their dad. I'll see if I can think of a good bedtime tale that you will enjoy. Would you kids like a tale that has a panther in it? What's a panther? Ann asked. Since she was just 3, sometimes when she said the it came out sounding like It's panther, said Mike with a smile. said Mike. Mike, said their dad, don't be mean. Be nice to your sister. She's just 3. When you were her age, you made mistakes too. I did? There, Dad nodded. Then he spoke to Anne. A panther is a huge black cat that has sharp teeth. Tell it, said Anne. Tell the panther tale. Okay, said their dad. The name of this tale is The Panther. Once there was a panther who could no longer hunt. His legs were just too tired. His joints were just too stiff. So he went in his cave and sat down near the mouth of the cave. So the mouth of the cave is the opening right here. The panther still had to get food to eat. But how could he get food without hunting? At last he came up with a plan. Soon an owl came up to the mouth of the cave. How are you feeling, Panther? The owl asked. Not so well, said the panther. I am sick and can't leave my cave. Will you visit me in my cave? When someone is sick, it is so nice to have a pal visit. The owl went in for a visit. He stepped inside, but he did not step out. Next, a fox ran up. How are you feeling, Panther? The fox asked. Not so well, said the panther. I am sick. Will you visit me in my cave? When someone is sick, it is so nice to have a pal visit. Thanks, said the fox, but no thanks. Why not? Asked the panther. You can't fool me, said the fox. I see lots of footprints going into your cave, but there are no footprints going out of it. So the moral of the story is, be careful who you trust. So who tricked who here? Who was the trickster in this story? It was the Black Panther. What a clever fox, said Mike. I don't understand, shouted Anne. What happened? It seems that Mike is as smart as the fox, said the dad. Perhaps he can tell you the reason the fox said, no thanks, to the panther. The fox is smart, Mike said. He tricked the pancake and could tell that the panther was tricking him. You can't trick a trickster like the fox. So in this case, it was the fox who tricked Panther, but in the beginning of the story, Panther tricked the owl. So who are the characters in the story? Yep, we had a panther, an owl, a hare, and a fox. What is the setting of the story? Where was it taking place? Yep, at the mouth of the cave, right? In the panther's cave. Why could the panther no longer hunt? Because he was old and sick. What did the panther tell the owl, hare, and fox when they asked how he was feeling? He did not feel well. And he also said, remember, it's so nice to have visitors when he's not feeling well. What happened to the hare and the owl? Yep, they got eaten. Why did the fox decide not to enter the panther's cave? Because the fox knew, right, what was going to happen. He saw all those footprints coming out of the cave, or going into the cave and not out, so he knew the panther ate the animals that visited him. And the moral of the story is, be careful who you trust. All right, so now what I want you to do is I want you to go get your workbook pages 15.2 and 15.3. So you can pause this video, go get those pages and a pencil. All right, so what you have to do here is you have to read the sentences and you have to fill in the blank with one of these words. So the words to fill in the blank are sick, visit, out, hare, cave, owl. So I will read you the sentences and then you have to fill in the blanks. If I'm going too fast for you, pause the video until you finish writing and then